Hash info. Check this out. So this came across my news desk last night. Do you believe Canadian news agencies that continuously lie, cheat, and steal to control us by dumbing us down? Well, it couldn't all fit in there, but you heard what it said. If you show up later and you don't understand that poll skill testing question, please just back out of the chat. It wasn't meant for you. This is for people who can read between lines and understand how to. If you're not inept, please move along, as it never pertained to you, and it never will. See, one thing I learned, you can't teach stupid. Stop trying. You look stupid trying to teach stupid, right? You ever try to teach a dog to roll over? How about you ever teach a stupid dog to roll over? You know what I'm saying? Think about it. Look how stupid you look trying to teach a stupid dog, right? Look how smart you look when the dog listens to you pretty damn fast, eh? I got so many things to do today, actually, to be real with you. But starting out today, I think we're going to go a little bit slower than normal. And then go really fast later on. I do another coat of paint on this room. Probably in about 2 hours I can walk on it by 11. Still tacky. The floor, the humidity has been a little bit higher. We had some drizzle there, so it kept the humidity higher, which increases dry time. Plus, it's a basement, so it's a lot more humid than upstairs. I don't know if you guys have any idea, concept of what's really going on, but I do. You got to take these things into account. This affects the dry time, what is also known as curing time. So, curing comes into play, or in the word comes into many jobs. Quite funny how curing is a great word. Curing can also mean patience. Patience. That's the way I see the word curing. It's interesting that the word cure basically means time as well, right? Like you need this much time in order to have this heal up, right? Sometimes healing process just requires what? Time. So it's interesting if we allow the human body time to heal, if we don't panic and rush, maybe you need more time to heal, to cure when you are older. Maybe healing slows down, right? Maybe you don't have as much time as you once did to heal, which would lead to, being deleted, you could say, right? So, this is the world, folks. This is the world. I'm very shocked. I didn't expect the Canadian news agencies to go this far with their. They created a lot of problems in Canada. I said this 2, 3, 4, and 5 years ago that the Canadian, American, British news agencies have all really dumbed down Westerners and Europeans as well. There are places in Europe where you can learn the truth. They mock Western culture, Western medicine, and a lot of other things. Also, Chinese ancient medicine is very much the opposite of Western medicine. I find it interesting that we lack the respect to learn from others. As we're taught by our parents that, or maybe not a parent, maybe that's a lack of parenting. You're supposed to be taught to learn from others, from their mistakes, from what they get right. And getting it right doesn't mean making money, getting a degree, having a great job. It means getting it right means being truthful. It means being a good person. When you go out of your home, you help others in need, right? Walking by someone is the last thing you would want somebody to do if you were in trouble, right? A great analogy is if your vehicle is stuck or stranded, would you want somebody to stop for you? Quickly say yes. So listen to me carefully. Listen to this. Imagine if you were stranded in the middle of a highway and everybody stopped. The highway stopped moving so you could get going, right? Think about that. Is that the way your town, your city, your country operates? Quickly say no. Of course there are people within your village who are that good, who all make an effort to help you, right? There are those who pass you by, never thinking twice about aiding you. Why? Because they're feeble, they're less able, and many other things. The able body, if you're not able, I could see how you could roll by slowly, put your hand up and say, hey, do you need a phone call or something? Roll your window down. Do you need me to call any tow trucks or anything? That's always a great ask. Can I call somebody for you? Maybe they don't have a cell phone. Other things you can do back in the day when only, the creepiest that people had a way of communicating in the 90s, early 90s, 80s. The connected few, we'll call them, the most evil, devilish of people had forms of communication that were instant in the 50s, 60s, 70s, and the 80s. The corrupt ones, we'll call them. Outside of a home phone, a landline, right? A corded phone. So I've been thinking about this. It's very interesting. How come cell phones don't use a plug, right? Yes, for caller ID. I'm talking about the original rotary phone. It had no... You had a phone jack, right? It didn't use electricity. And that had me thinking, You know how they say they had free energy and this and that, and you actually can't find a book from back in the day, right? There are no books from 1750, 1790. 1801, 1802. You can't find a single book. Why is that? Now you got to ask yourself, in the movie The Da Vinci Code, when you see them burning books, how sad did it make you? Right? That it's not so much, you can call it history, but you literally have burned the memory of people who existed before you, and you destroyed the memory of them. There should be burning books should be the most illegal thing you can do. The book was printed for the purpose of greed. I say burn it. But if this was a historical book in the terms of it had every name in the village, it told about what each person did in the village and how many hashmen there were and told you how to make the best, and people destroyed that, maybe they kept a copy or they wrote down or they photocopied a copy for themselves for their personal library, but made those books illegal for anyone to read or have or possess. This is the way it was back then. But you don't you don't even give a flying that the books were burned. To me, that's shocking. Not only that you don't, but that shows the severity of the situation that they created. They won. They succeeded. They dumbed you down, right? You will not ask the question because it doesn't pertain to your money, to your car, to your whatever it is, your mansion. But I see it as a problem. I see it as a problem that isn't going to be, it's never going to stop, right? They're never going to stop deleting and burning and destroying history. Lives, people's lives that were good-natured people who wrote books to pass on the love that they found here in the short time they had with their skill set that they wanted to share with everybody else that didn't understand their skill set. And people were curious. Not everybody, but 10, 20, 30% of the village thought this was one of the coolest pastimes you could have. Some people like to call it a niche market or a hobby because they don't want it to take off, right? If that concept were to take off, you could make your own. You wouldn't need to consume. You wouldn't need to purchase from the corporation. I understand fully why. I'll give you a quick story. So back in the day, I actually wasn't allowed to grow right away. I found out that, this goof actually had hid my paperwork. And so he got fired. Who told him to hide it was never revealed. There's no way that guy... He lied, though. He said he sent it off, and so they had said, well, we found his paperwork here. So I went and I had a personal meeting. I said, one of the stipulations to me not going to the news today is I want to talk to this guy. Put this guy in a room, and I want to understand what he did. From him. I want him. And he's like, well, we can't. I said, nope. I said, then I'm going to the news. He said, hang on. Let me call you back. This was the person in charge of the entire facility. In charge, there was no little dinky manager or nothing. This was the real deal. And I talked to the overseer is a perfect term in Calgary. I'll say that. That's totally allowed. I can say anything I want. This is what happened, and I never signed nothing that said I couldn't. It'd be highly illegal if they made me do that. I had lawyers back then who were chomping at the bit to do this one, and I didn't want it because I don't want problems. It's not about I'm scared. I knew there was a problem. The only way to get that problem solved was to fire them. I said, if I ever hear one word from anyone that this happened, I said, I open this back up, and I will tenfold you on my case, but I will take their case. I'll help them on the highest level as well, tenfold you. So now and because of me, this was almost a decade ago now. Seriously, this happened years ago. Not a decade, but I'm not going to give a timeline. But it's a very long time ago. Very long time. I ended up helping Winnipeggers, Manitobans, access entirely what they are allowed to. Okay? So there was something here. There are powers that be that they're not powerful until you see, they just sneak around. They sneak around in the night after 5 p.m., shifting around, collecting data, plotting and planning. Okay, this is all that stuff. They have to prove how they came up with this. How did you accrue this? As soon as that stuff starts to show no warrants, or for number one, you can't actually access or touch another person's medical file or documentations. It's highly illegal in Canada. Highly illegal. Highly illegal. It's jail time, actually. So, and I was absolutely allowed to sue for cash and make money. I didn't want to do that. The purpose of that facility is to provide medicine for people with cancer, people with horrible pain that refuse pills. So I made sure that they could access it, literally access it. So nobody was like me. Nobody. I go steps further than anybody would ever think, just to make sure. I want to clear it up. And if I catch wind that this happened to one of my friends, shitstorms will be raining down on you for life. I live by that. I live by that. So do my friends. So do my closest. Again, you don't need to know who they are. You don't have to. It's not about who. You see, everything is about knowing who you are, where you are, and who you know, right? If you take away any one of those, not only are you mysterious, what happens is people don't know what they're up against, right? People don't know who to go gang stalk next, right? To kind of thin your numbers, right? So gang stalking, again, highly illegal. If found that an entity or corporation or group of people has conglomerated to harass, bully, or take away any form of your livelihood, horrible things people should never want to do to someone, people do to people. And it's usually not because of who you know, it's because of what you know about these bad, evil, devilish people, right? So all you gotta do is make sure you tell a bunch of people that if anything happens to me, look, this is all the stuff that's happened. And these are the only people who know that I grow, who know that I had this, that, and the other. And from there, it's easily decided by them what could have happened, and then we'll just go have a chat with them and see what they have to say, right? Or they skip you and just go to your phone records, right? They go check your social medias. I'm telling you straight up, this is what my friends do for a living. I told y'all. My friends are some of the smartest computer techies in the world. All these little buildings with, they have parameters and laws. Some of them may be using extra or doing, maybe called black ops, covert, right? Underneath a different IP or this and that, but it's illegal, right? But my friends are doing it legally for the biggest people in the world. And they don't have like Facebooks and Instagrams and stuff like that. Of course, they have their own social media to fit in, to look like, you know, but these people are here to protect Canadians, Americans, Europeans. Could be other countries as well. I just won't name, but they're good people. But they are guardians of the internet, of your country, of the world, of the plane that we live on. Right? They're not evildoers. They don't take money greedily for hurting somebody, for making up lies about somebody, for poisoning somebody. These people protect you when you don't even know their name. They get zero praise for being protected, right? Can you say the same about your daily life, or is it the exact opposite? Quickly say your job and title is forces you to do the exact opposite. Isn't that crazy? But that's how the world has turned, right? The amount of people that do a daily evil, it's incredible. It's incredible. Want to know a good-natured job? Planting trees, planting flowers, greenhouse gardeners, right? People who have apple orchards, orange trees. I don't know what you call orange. Naval belly button forests, eh? Raspberry farmers, strawberry farmers, blueberry farmers, carrot farmers, you know, cucumber farmers, melon farmers. Did you know tomato farmers? Did you know each one of these is actually a type of farmer you could be? You don't have to have like a farmer or a vegetable grower. People are so kind of like, well, do you think of a farmer as old MacDonald? You need a tractor right away with a big red barn and all this stuff. You don't need any of that. You need dirt, whether it be in soil or water. You can decide your medium. It could grow in sand, clay pebbles. You can grow with no sand, dirt, and just grow in water, right? Aeroponics, hydroponics, DWC, and then instead of deep water culture, you can have, I don't think it's called LWC, a little bit of water culture, but just less. It's like there's another one. I don't know what it's called. I forget the terminology of that one, but I prefer that method of all of them. But they're all beautiful, but you can have a lot of problems with a few of them. Most people don't really get that, eh? Yes, they grow big, but they come with problems when the lights are off, or if you ever have a power outage, it comes with problems most of the time, right? I'm not saying hydro is bad. I'm just saying I don't even know how to combat some of them. Due to my lack of hydroponic growing, I wouldn't really know how to combat. I don't think you can get rid of it, to be honest, because it's systemic. So, yeah, you can't. And if you can, it's going to take time, and your hydro is fast, right? So you don't have time to heal up. And I told you, curing is time, right? So when your plants have horrible things come over them, you got to make sure you understand what you're doing, right? I got rid of a few plants that weren't really doing well, and that's just how it is, you know. I picked some raspberry bushes, I picked some tomato bushes, I picked some other bushes. What's my name? I was like, this one's not that good. It's taking up space and using up newts that, you know, it's not necessary to have that, right? I'm not gonna end up keeping it, and I don't want any beans off something that doesn't look or is, you know. So those are factors I have to always consider as well. Like I said, it's systemic. Now that that's done, I think I'm gonna put this into a different bag. Probably start a different stream in about I'm not sure when, but I'm definitely just gonna chat with you to the side. I don't want to I'm not doing any like gaming videos or anything. I have to clean up the counters and do some things. So if I do a stream coming back, it's just going to be a chat. Not just, it's going to be amazing. But yeah, I don't really want to dumb you guys down. So see, the term channel, if you're smart enough to grasp it, you will tune in, okay? This is an interesting way to put it, right? But you have to want to channel this information, right? So it's a lack of respect you have for yourself if you don't want to channel this. And you go channel short videos all morning, right? Literally designed to dumb you down. So there are, I have an emotional feed, so like it tugs on your heartstrings feed. It's not just like cute puppies or cute cats. It's actually stories of. I'm not going to get into it. I'm not here to increase or aid any sort of thing here, right? Specifically, the AI. I don't truly have an opinion, good or bad, on AI. I think a lot of people with low IQ have huge opinions on AI. As someone who AI learns from, and absolutely as I learn from AI, which is the key to staying powerful, when power is only and always will be knowledge, information, the important thing to learn here is from it. How does it learn? What does it choose to learn? What does it choose to take in, and why, right? What are the parameters of its learning characteristics? What defines, what governs it, right? And I don't really care what you guys think if you do any sort of knowledge bearing or sharing. I would like you to understand. You don't have to maybe share the knowledge or go feed it out. I get that people are different. We're not going to have farmers, right? I do need people that read books or understand or pay attention to their parents or their friends who are master growers who could teach them, right? But instead you choose not to ask questions. Although I don't like questions. Questions are actually kind of absolute. On here, I find it's one of the only ways I have to communicate is through people asking questions, wanting to learn. But in person, truly speaking, I don't like questions. I find if someone I hang out with claims to be so smart, but then we have a conversation on growing nutrients I'm talking what you eat, caloric intake, or a nutrient-based diet, which is what we all do. I always find myself laughing at how people don't even understand the most simple of things. It's not about, photosynthesis this, or sugars turn into nitrogen and chlorophyll. Forget all the laters. Of course it's important. I didn't say I don't care. I'm telling you, if you can't hop in a conversation of basic nutrients and you're 40 or 45, that means you are dumb. If you were the only person here, you would starve to death. Because I'll explain. This world we live in was manually inputted here by human hands. The only reason we exist is from the manual input of farmers every year. Do you understand that? If you let stuff, especially in these colder climates where I'm from, with pestilence and disease and cold weather, poor weather in the fall and the spring, or cold weather in the winter, plus pestilence and disease, you will not have a crop without a good farmer organically understanding the needs of the plants in said crops. So take out the word crop, put plants, take out the word environment or place, and put ground, right? Earth. Earth isn't earth in Jamaica, it's sand, it's clay. So it's not the same growing. So now you've what we call it's in genetics. So we call not D. It is sort of like DNA, but it's way different. It is our. So I'm from Iceland. I like cold weather. I can handle cold weather. Jamaicans cannot. Facts. I'm not better than them. This is a fact. I can go drop dead in Jamaica because it's too hot for me there. But Jamaicans love it. Do you get that? Does that make sense to you? So it's my body's ability to climatize, but it's my ancestors' ability that were pushed into me that give me what I am right now. Now, the older you get, if you were off planet or off that plane of existence or that climate, you will lose your abilities slowly, right? Nobody really truly ever, if especially the more pure any race you are, the more what you have are called land race abilities or land race characteristics. So people that believe, crystals are gonna save you, crystals might be one of the greatest sources of powers that we're not allowed to harness or dabble in that technology, okay? Because we'd see that crystal technology, we know crystals are the best place in the world to store information. A single crystal that fits in the palm of your hand can hold the world library. Every book in the world library. And it can fit in the palm of your hand. Now I'll ask you, think of the power you would have if you had 10 crystals. One on growing, one on food, one on healing, one on maybe on humanity. I don't know how these crystals are going to be based, but or what the topics define each crystal or labeling them is up to the world to do. But I'm saying, imagine a world with 10 crystals. You all get 10 regular crystals. We all have hundreds and thousands of crystals underneath our feet. One country has enough crystals to allow everybody to have 4 billion crystals in their small crystals that fit in your hand. You could have a floor full of crystals that all contain information you could access by scanning your phone across it and telling your AI phone to learn about this and say it out loud. Read it back to me. What is the cure for this? And it'll go across the room. Well, go to crystal 99B, second row in. Right there, that one, the red one. Scan it. Once you have this kind of technology, imagine what you need from civilization, right? So I don't believe that we are these masters of ingenuity and innovation when some of the greatest books in the world are hidden in deep underground caverns in China with the greatest books on plants and healing in the world, right? The most ancient books in the world. Remember how I told you can't find a book from before 1850 or 1801? China has books thousands of years old. Now, I ask you, do you know what's in those books? Quickly say no. Quickly say no. See, there was a lot of something they don't like to talk about, but it was in Indiana Jones. We'll just leave it there, kind of. You can go watch the original movies. Indiana Jones was up against an army. Well, you can use that term. And this army, Indiana Jones was pitted against. This American historian, adventurer of good, they say. Lol. Fought an entire army of you know, people who were very well coordinated, uh, and he always won, right? He always fooled them. Well, turns out that those stories are actually true. That army that they chose to showcase in those movies actually was seeking other lands' technologies from past resets, period. Go look it up. Go check this out, man. And what they found led them to be, well, go look at rocketry and things like that, and look at the countrymen, the countries these people are from. So in a short time after the mud flood, we dug out what was here and found ancient technologies. Ancient technologies. There are ancient computers found at the bottom of the ocean, encased in rock formations from millions of years ago, made out of brass and steel, and its intricacy still can't be made today by anyone or any printer, or they don't understand the concept that it even had, the purpose it served. They have no clue. Now this reminds me of a quick statement. America no longer has the technology to go to the moon, to land on the moon, to land a man on the moon. Are you kidding me? That's the line. Go look it up. That was the official narrative. This is all truth. But they, as people wised up, and they're like, wait. I thought you said IBM had a supercomputer back then, and now they put a supercomputer in the palm of people's hand in 2006 and 2004. Wait, what's going on here? How did our technology get so... I don't know what the term is when you can when you can shrink the technology, these vast amounts of power that powered Big Blue, or whatever the name of the IBM computer was back in the day, the Big Blue Learning or something, IBM Learning. It was a supercomputer. It played chess against whatever his name was, Gary Chicharovsky or something. I wish I remembered his name. He's one of my idols. I don't like idolizing a person. I think that maybe these people are not... You shouldn't idolize anything, number one. Nothing should ever be idolized. So I misspoke. But when I was young, I didn't know that, and I did idolize Gary Sorovsky. I forget his name. I love chess, something fierce. Like, I'm definitely one of the best chess players in the world. I don't want to go get a badge or a nerd trophy. You know, I'm not into what everybody else is into. If you ever want to play me chess for $100,000, I'll play you. I'll play you anytime, anyone, for $100,000. So cash has to be on the table. So I'll play pool against a lot of people for a lot of money, but I have to play like 60 games against you. And we'll bet for everything but money, and then I'll play the 61st or the 69th game. I will play you for a boatload of cash, or I will never touch a pool cue against you again, type of thing, right? Because I will have realized that you are better than me, which is very rare. I play 9-ball, one of the greatest 9-ball players in the world, by far. I can still, I do things with a 9-ball that aren't really, combos and everything, like sick shit, really sick shit. My wife's really good at pool, said a little bit hesitantly. I'm a little bit disappointed how good she is, but she's nowhere near as good as I am. I'll prove it. We're getting a pool table. We'll play 100 games. We'll write it on the board. We'll tattoo it to the walls. I'll engrave it in stone. You know what I'm saying? I'm by far the best poker player in the world. I'll prove that time and time again soon. But it'll have to be at my house. I'll be the dealer every time. You know, because I I don't want to have to absolutely just lose it, flip the table on you. But a lot of people like to cheat at cards or poker and Monopoly. You can cheat, but I punch really hard, just so you know. I punch really hard. So you won't see it coming, and if it lands, you will never be the same again. I am that guy. I don't like violence. I prefer to live a peaceful life, but if I have to defend myself for my freedom, you know, for my safety, for my family, I'll definitely do it. And I'm really good at it. You know what I mean? Doesn't mean I like to do it, but I'm really good at it, right? You know how you're really good at running? I'm really good at just absolutely knocking the block off someone, you know? I don't know when I learned to do that. I think I did watch a bunch of people that I knew 5 feet from me, you know, throw haymakers, and I was like, oh, that was really slow though. And then I watched the same person, and they got toasted by other dude who was bigger, way faster, way more athletic. And that's just all it takes. See, speed will get you some places, right? If it's your legs, man, you can go far down the street. If you have speed with your hands, that's where your next level shit comes in. Racket sports, obviously boxing, racket sports are going to be your best bets for hand-eye coordination. Like, yeah, I've never seen a tennis player fight before, but I've seen badminton players fight before. Like, not just myself, but others, or squash or racquetball. Holy crap, I've never seen a racquetball or a squash player, a tennis player lose a fight. Only maybe seen 4 or 5, but they were always like the scrawnier, skinnier guy. Man. Over in 1 second. And those, to be honest with you, those guys also, the 4 or 5 that I can think of that I grew up with, man, not one of them is mean. Not one of them is a bully, you know? Not one of them will go and like be loud in your face and like force you to stick up for your, you know, or whatever it is, right? Like they're not loud. They're very quiet. They'll be like loud on the court, but they're not loud sitting around a table with a bunch of chicks and dudes, you know what I mean? They're very quiet. So it's interesting. I don't know if I'm loud or quiet. If I don't know the people, I'm usually very quiet. There are times I like to have a conversation, but there's also, it's all on a person's mood, eh? If I'm catching a weird vibe from anyone, I might not be so inclined to be chatty Cathy, but I don't really concern myself with others' vibes. But if you are evil, I won't really say much at all, probably. I've been around too long, right? And the evil that exists where I'm from is kind of, what's up, straight money? The evil that exists where I'm from is kind of like a rat evil, right? It's not like, it's there to collect information, right? You guys gotta watch. I'm old now, so I fear nothing, and I'm a good man. I am probably the best man in Winnipeg by far. I'm probably the only man in Winnipeg that's doing the good work that needs to be done. Nobody else is stepping up. Go look around on YouTube Live. If you find another dude from Winnipeg all morning today talking about the good things that need to be done, I'm wrong. But prove me wrong. Go find another dude from Winnipeg live on YouTube all morning, just spouting not so much wisdom or this or that. I mean, sure, you could call it a little bit of wisdom, but it's information that can be channeled and shared and replicated. That is good, right? I never told you to do bad things or anything like that, right? So consider your options when you watch stuff, right? Because there's a lot of pollution that is exactly that. It pollutes your mind. Your mind's eye puts a bug in your ear that you should never have there, right? Your mind's eye Do you guys see the TV show, the cartoon Thundercats? When Lion-O puts his sword, I don't know what it's called. I just think of this one moment. The last 2 or 3 days, I've said third eye and mind's eye. I've used it like once or twice, but it makes me. I really am being called to say this. The Thundercat Lion-O, the lion, right? The keeper of the jungle, the keeper of the yin and the yang in the jungle, right? He can choose to be completely evil or just eat exactly what he needs in a day or in a week. And that's what the lion does. No extra, no waste. He has the opportunity to make, he could line up food for 70 days. He could just he could go in one day and he could take out so many things. He doesn't have to do anything for 70 days. But instead, the lion lets everything coexist, have babies, have a family, sees there's 9 elk over there. And there's one elk, he's kind of not walking too good. He or she, we're not picking I don't want to have Karen's gender community coming after me today or anything, but I welcome it. I'd like the views, Karen, please. Send them over. I love guys and I love chicks. And dudes, I am a dude. I hang out with dudes sometimes, you know? I love all chicks. Karen, bring it. Fucking bring it, Karen. You won't. Today is the best day. You're right. Chad, I actually know a guy named Chad and I feel bad for him. I've never used the term Chad. Chad was a nice guy. Chad is a nice guy. Chad went on to become a carpenter. He didn't go on to be a cow kicker, a chicken kicker. He went on to become a carpenter. So, Chad's a boss. Chad builds custom houses, we'll call it. I'm not going to disclose exactly what Chad does. He's a boss, okay? Now, one time I was at Chad's place, which was my another buddy's place before this, and it was awesome, you know? I was like, oh, Chad, you got my buddy's house. And I told Chad, and Chad was like, really? And I'm like, oh, yeah, dude. Yep. He's like, no way. I'm like, oh, yeah. For days, bud. Oh, man. I never seen anything like Chad's house before. Not when Chad owned it. When Buddy owned it. Holy Dinah. Y'all would have been... Look, I'm a sweater, right? But when I went there, holy man, I was telling his wife, I'm like, I'm going to need a bucket underneath each arm. I'm sweating so bad. Oh, I'm telling you. I got some of the best moments of my life in that place right there. One day I'll have to buy that place and redo it. You know, put her back to good use, eh? Oh man, what a time. 1990s. 92, 93, 94, 95. Wait, there's more. 96. Oh, 97. 98. 99. That was one of the... Talk about 4th of July. You want to see light show, baby. Woo! Woo! 99. 2000. 2001. 2002, bud. I could go on, but there was a decade right there. And to be honest, it was the greatest decade of my life. As far as that goes, right? Oh man, good times. But now, I mean, after that, you know, I'm not going to forget what year it was, and just I'm always doing that. I'm going to try not to, because there's many reasons. After that time, I went on to become one of the greatest, and absolutely solo lone wolf, baby. Let's go, baby. Let's go. But I still hung out with everyone and everything, but I was like, nah. And then whenever it was come time, I'd be like, oh yeah, give me that, give me this, whatever, but no big deal, take that. Here, check this out. They're like, whoa, never seen a blue like that before. Whoa, how do you make blue hairs, bro? I'm like, I can't tell you, but you want more? You want some more? And off we went. Second cup of tea going down. We're having a green tea, lemon ginseng. I think I said that. Did I nail it? Lipton green tea, lemon ginseng. Naturally flavored green tea. Man, you'd swear I'm doing commercials or something. It's all the tea I got left, so I gotta do an unboxing video for you today, question mark? And probably not today, but I don't know, with the wife, she'll have to decide. If it's not today, it's gonna be this weekend, I think. But who knows? So, last night we had a cup of hot chocolate. I don't know. Definitely shitty hot chocolate, like, it's not a good one. Made with real cocoa. Man, it tasted pretty good. Cane sugar too. Okay, I'm taking a lot of that stuff back. Huh. First ingredient, Dutch processed cocoa? Cane sugar? Come on. It's not too bad. Huh. Probably try another one, be a little lighter on it this time. Maybe one, my wife's right, maybe one less, little bit of the scoop of, but I didn't find it that sweet. Like, mine was sweet, maybe towards the bottom it was a little sweet, yeah. The top half, my first 3 sips were like straight cocoa, like dirt, you know? It smelled like, tasted like earth, you know, black earth. Not the worst, it's definitely not the best. Should be any time now, we should be having a cup of tea here. Holy crow, I did an 8-ounce cup, it filled it halfway, it looks so small. We might have to do another 4 ounces on top of this 8-ouncer. How do you do that? You put an 8-ounce in and then you unplug it once she gets close to full, and it'll piss out for another second or two. See, it's going again. And yeah, you just hit the power button. There's no power button, you have to unplug it right from the wall. There's no power button on this thing. I think it's only using like 100 calories, like 100 watts, but I could be wrong. It's heating up water, so can it do that with less than 100 watts? Doubtful, right? Like, I'd like to look at the bottom of this actually, so I'll check it out later. If you want to check out how much wattage I'm using the Keurig. It's an ice cold coffee, ice brew, cold brew. Here's what it's called. It doesn't say. So it's a Keurig, and then it's the gray one with a blue button on the side, and it's for iced coffee. So, and it's like a slender model. I'm not sure what it's called. I'm gonna dump the D here though. Cat ate all the food, holy crap. Ah. Put this in the drain here. Dumping your DEHU is a great way to keep your sinks really decongested. Listen to that. Listen to the suck on that thing. Listen. Oh, it did it for a second. I went. But that means your drain is clean. So I run hot water through my drain. Not all the time. Let's say I'm gonna wash or rinse some pots or some pans that I need. I'll start the hot water right down the drain on hot, and then I'll throw the plates over it, rinse them off, and then I'll hot water the drain and I scrape my plates in the toilet, in the garbage. So there's nothing on there but like maple syrup, you know, a little barbecue sauce, ketchup, whatever it is. A couple crumbs, so they get splashed right down the drain. And that's it. There's no plastic or cardboard or nothing like that going near my drain. But you could have bugs in your sink, right? So you don't want that stuff, pestilence, coming up and out. So you keep them at bay. You wash those things down, eh? A couple times a year, I'll take a jug of hot water, make it in a Keurig, collect it. You know, do 4 or 5 good 12-ounce cups, big jug, and I'll pour the scalding hot water down the drain with some vinegar, baking soda, and some sea salt, some really coarse salt. But I use hot water and vinegar and baking soda. Man, I'm telling you, smells clean for at least a week or two after. You know, because you're putting stuff down the drain, like rinsing it. My drain smells fine, but it doesn't smell as fresh as when after you do that, eh? And but if there's no stink to get, like, it doesn't smell like anything right now, but it just has like a cleaner scent from the vinegar and the baking soda. And, I don't know, it smells a little more fresh, you know? So we'll probably get that done this weekend with the little antibacterial soap. Make sure she slides down easy. And you soap your drain too with hot soapy suddy water a couple times a year, and that'll make sure it doesn't stink down there as well. Get rid of any bacteria that builds up, which there's a lot. But you want to keep your drain clean if you live in Winnipeg or anywhere, because when it gets cold, all those extra bits are stuck inside your drain and it's like building up. And if you have a 4-inch hole, it'll turn into a 2-inch in the winter because that stuff will freeze, and then you'll have way less drain space to go down, right? I have never had any problems with that kind of thing here, so get that done, you know what I mean? Cast that stuff by knocking at the door, bringing it to light, eh? No problems. So, we got some things to figure out here. Probably another couple weeks. Put some compost in the garden. Some different things for next year. Oh, I've got a few spots left to do. Huh. I thought I had the notes here. Et si avec moi. Perfect. Today is the best day ever. Flames. So we got that. Okay. Let's see. Definitely use this one. That. So, we meet again a really hot dude from Winnipeg. Today is the greatest day of everything. So now we're going to clean this up. When I'm done with this, let's just chuck this in the garbage. Which really means chuck it in the garden. Chuck this in the garden. Never worry. We will let the garden eat this up. It is literally going to eat up this stuff in a couple days, as it's also plants. Yeah, we're planting plant juices, guys. We're going to plant some plant juices today on my show, live on YouTube. The guy that plants all types of plant juices in his plants. That's actually a thing, eh? But we don't get too far into that. I don't want you guys catching up to me veganically. I do. I truly do. I want you all to become veganic growers. The greatest growers in the world. Remember when I met you? 7.5, 8 years ago, whatever it was now. It's been so many years. Talking that good, baby. And I've got proof. I've got the proof, boo-boo. Today is the greatest day of everything. Alright, done. I've got a hot wife. I'm going to make breakfast for her. I'm going to make breakfast. And eat it too. I'm feeling like waffles. I'm not even playing. So I'll ask the wife what she feels like. If she doesn't want waffles, I'll just make some for myself. She probably will though. Oh, you know what we have? Actually, we're gonna have hash browns. I haven't had hash browns for so long. Who wants hash browns?
Oh, I want hash browns. Oh, I gotta ask her if she wants hash browns. Hash browns. Ooh, I could fry onions. Does that do anything to hash browns? No, eh? Skip that. Today is the greatest day of everything. Amazing. Definitely have to get some of that in me. So, we got this, that, and the other. Did. Then we're gonna do this. What's this? What's for that, and the other. And then we've got this to showcase that. Then we're gonna get going on something else here. What's this though? This is something. This is another one of those. So we're gonna make some cookies today or tomorrow. I have to find the right cookie recipe. And when we do, that's for that. Super stuff for that. These are obviously amazing. So okay, we'll go with that for now. Let's see what we got here. Today is the greatest. I gotta grow out the floor a tiny bit there, and then that's done. Put that away. I'll do that in a little while. I just want to eat, and then I'll grow out the floor. Also probably painting another floor. The more I look at it, I think I'm just going to do it. It's a boss move. It'll definitely increase the value. So why wouldn't I, right? The beaner. Alright. That makes me happy. Now just come over here, right? Oh boy. All right, we finished. Whoever said that saying, what a little dab will do you, I'm sure it's true. I mean, who's doing little dabs? What's this? What's much?
dust. And another one. And another one bites of dust. Bum, 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 bum. Boom, boom. Rum, bum, bum, bum. And another one. And another one. And another one bites of dust. I got to poop down. Rum, bum, bum, bum. We have hash browns. Ooh, we got some veggie pakora. We also have ginger snap cookies. I can take a couple of those out. Got ginger snap cookies for dessert. I also have some olives. I have some tomatoes. These stupid peppers here. I'm not doing anything with right now. I got some ingredients. I can go to town with this stuff. I really can. Is this salad? I got. Spinach, mushrooms. We have tomatoes, no mushrooms. I'm gonna make a nice salad. The hash browns are for after, but then veggie pakora, and then tomatoes, and then there's cucumbers, I believe. So let's get some stuff did. You know what I'm saying? I gotta wash this. What am I gonna wash here? I gotta wash the salad bowl, which is here. I got to wash some other stuff. Let's see. We'll have spinach, salad. I'm going to let this soak. Hot water in the salad bowl. I rinsed it out the other day, but it's just going to sit here. Think about how sexy I am. Veggie pakora goes in the oven. Veggie pakora. Oh, folks. We're making breakfast. It's just really taking a while to get it going here, so. Oh, the salad bowl's clean. We're just going to scrub it with this scrubby. More hot water.
That's what I was talking about. Rushing hot water down the sink, wasn't it? Can't beat that sound. Okay. Salad bowl's washed. Frying pan was super rinsed out yesterday. We're scrubbing it now with the scrubby one final time. Clean as a whistle. Wash the back of it. Scrub around the sides and the bottom. Super clean. Super clean. Wash off your broomstick. Wish those. Alright, there's the hash brown pan. Salad bowl. Wash your spinach. Take off. Hey hon, what day did we go to Costco? You don't remember? Alright guys. Big old spinach salad. 12 ounces of spinach, otherwise known as 3/4 of a pound. Going in right now. It smells like farts, guys. It smells a lot like farts in here right now. That is a lot of spinach farts. Baby spinach farts. Is it baby spinach? It is baby spinach. We're having baby spinach farts all morning. I'll be right back with baby spinach fart stream. Organic.